like a bank, something that can't go down. You want to make sure that your data is always protected continually. And the way you can do that is with a RAID storage system. And these are just, kind of makes sense. Just imagine that, well, they are. Each one of those is a hard drive. And they just take turns saving, backing up, saving, backing up, saving, backing up, saving, backing up. So there's always, your information's always protected. Yeah. And there are computers that are called fault-tolerant computers. What that means is if the hard drive fails, there's another hard drive to take its place. If the memory fails, there's more memory to take its place. If the power supply fails, there's another power supply to take its place. It's like there's two of everything, and sometimes more than two of everything. So that's a fault-tolerant computer. It can handle crashing and maintain itself and tell you, hey, this part crashed, so now I only have one, so fix me. All right, so it gives you a chance to get things up and running. Think of businesses that need that kind of backup. I don't know if we use a RAID system, but we have a backup system. We probably do. Things have changed a ton in the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Used to be there. I guess I can't think of a business that wouldn't want this unless, if it was just a real small business and you ran like, I don't know, 8 invoices a day or something, you could redo those when you got your computer back up and running. You could probably redo that. But if you do 100 transactions a day and you sell things online, you don't want to be down at any point. So you want to have a good backup system. Okay, so RAID storage is a term for you to understand and know about. Okay, so we looked at floppies and zip drives. Now we haven't talked about optical drives, and we're still using them in some way or another. And this is always a fun time to show you a microwave CD. I encourage you not to microwave your own CDs, but if you'd like to see what happens, please go to YouTube and ask for that video. And especially don't do it in the dorms, okay? Do not tell anyone that I told you to microwave your discs. Here's a better one. It kind of breaks it out so you can see the tracks and sectors a little bit. So when we moved to these zip drives, I had to fight with my technician, the girl who helped me order computers. I had to fight with her and explain to her why we did not want to save on CDs. We needed to save on something faster. Have you guys made a CD lately? Takes
10 years ago.
How many years ago?
10 is when I did it last.
I just made the last week. A mixed CD for the car. All right, come on. It was an awesome CD. It takes, I don't know, 5 minutes to make a music CD. And if I was going to store my data on there, it would still take a lot of time to do that. So we have CD writers. So you can put stuff on a CD and you can change it and you can resave it. And so the technician was arguing with me saying, CD read writes are everywhere. We've got them in every computer. You need to have your students save to those rather than the zip disks because it costs us like $150 to put a zip drive into a computer. So you can't do that. And I'm like, listen, nobody has time to wait for a CD to finish and store before they leave, when they're finished doing their homework. No one has that extra 15 minutes to wait for that CD to finish. And I'm exaggerating with 15 minutes, but it takes a long time. And it was slower then than it is now. So, we kind of battled. That's why we ended up with so many of those portable zip drives, because that was a workaround for us, and they were not as expensive as having them built in and we could put them anywhere. So that kind of worked. But the fact of the matter is, CDs and DVDs provide you with good storage and kind of permanent storage. But now that you're seeing the CDs that went around the room, They're not really permanent. You can still ruin those. And CDs rot. You ever heard of that? Or have you seen one? They kind of like grow, like mold or kind of like rust grows inside of them. And it depends on how cleanly they were prepared in the beginning. And then you can infiltrate them and cause them to rot. And then if they rot, of course, they're not going to work anymore.
Well, it's not really the plastic that's rotting, it's the coating.
Yes.
They put on here because it's got like a mirror finish on the other side, and it's actually where the information is stored. It's not stored on the plastic.
It's on the other side. And when the way a CD stores is, you know, and they're called, well, the Blu-ray or the light actually burns the zeros and ones or the ones into the back of the CD. So it actually like pits out a piece of the back of the CD. Even though we look at it and it's super shiny and you're like, oh, this is smooth as can be. In the computer's reading, it finds the pits, and that's how it sees the zeros and ones and the data that's on that CD.
It's cool. I went to the GameStop and bought a couple Wii games.
Uh-huh.
And they're updating.
Now, and those CDs are not they're not storing new information, they're only holding the game.
Yeah.
You're storing the game progress on a solid state drive, probably inside that gadget, inside the Wii. Is that right? You guys who know gaming, are they solid state on the inside of this?
The PS4 is not solid state.
Is it still a hard drive?
They're still hard drive.
The PS4?
Yeah,
I seen it tear down the other day, and you can actually change it to a solid state, but there's really no advantage of doing it. Not for gaming.
Right.
Yeah, they're still running SAG.
And it seems like it would be more expensive and slower.
Yeah, they would have to bump up the price. That's why they're still dealing with the hard drive.
Right.
I don't know exactly how much memory it has though.
It's good to know. I've never studied the guts of gaming systems.
It's a computer. It's
Yeah.
what it is. It
Looks
just
the
has a
same.
different operating system on it. Has a CPU, has
Proprietary.
everything. It is a computer.
Mm-hmm. Can you guys create and store DVDs or only CDs? Music, or can you do video?
I can do both.
Okay, just making sure.
I got software that I can rip games, movies.
Okay, la. All right, let's talk about Blu-ray.
Those two.
Can you create a new Blu-ray disc? Can you create your own Blu-ray disc?
Yes.
Good question.
You could.
Yeah, with the right software.
You gotta have pretty high tech.
Well, can you recreate the Blu-ray, or are you taking the Blu-ray disc and making it a DVD? Okay, because I don't know the answer to this question. I don't think that you can own your own Blu-ray writer.
No,
Do you know?
there's
I
some.
actually think you can.
I just haven't thought about it before.
I'd have to look online
internet.
again, but I do believe that you can buy a Blu-ray writer for your computer. They're expensive.
Yeah. So you have to be a gung-ho pirate.
So,
Anybody going into production would benefit from
Oh
it.
yeah, sure. Video production. Movies.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out how they get when I take Blu-ray DVDs and put them, they turn out regular DVDs after that.
Do you guys?
What's the difference?
Well, yeah. Well, the difference is the
$1 million
quality.
question.
That is $1 million question.
Online
Here for me,
access.
it's like the Blu-ray movie costs too much, so I'm going to buy the DVD, and the DVD plays in everything I own, so that's going to work for me. But movie buffs.
Graphics are better, you have online access to,
More.
bloopers and, just overall more access to how the movie was made.
I don't know. Some of the Blu-ray movies I've seen, they're almost too clear for me. Like, you know what?
It's
I'm
like you're
saying?
there.
Yeah, it's almost. Too
I honestly have not watched a Blu-ray movie. Is that pretty lame? I
I've
work
only
hard.
watched it.
I work hard and I go to school. I don't watch too many movies. But, like, been to the theater maybe 3 times in 3 years. That's how bad it is. So, provides you a higher quality video experience for an extra price, because the Blu-ray player costs a little bit more. They're cheaper than they used to be, but they cost more than a DVD player. And the discs themselves, I think they even rent for more, don't they? If you
Aren't
rent
they
them?
smaller? I can't, isn't it Blu-ray, is
Same
Blu-ray the
size.
It's the
same?
exact same size.
Okay.
But yeah, you can get a writer. They're like $150 for it's the exact same thing as the DVD.
DVD renting.
Google it.
It does everything else too.
Options, many options. Okay, so let's go back in time again. Do we even use tape storage anymore?
Yes. Some
A little. And yes.
Yes.
And it kind of, kind of looks like just a cassette tape, but there's tape storage in here, and this container was a backup system for our web page probably 10 years ago. It says Thursday.
For a minute there, I thought. that
$100
was one of
for a
those,
Blu-ray writer.
$100?
5-track cassette tapes.
Oh, 8-track?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about the same size as an 8-track, which my husband threw all away, and I'm really ticked about that because I have an awesome music history shelf that I would like to add my 8-track to. Stinker pot. Anyway, this is a tape storage. It's used because it's cheap. And you can just, you know, the webmaster at that time would have tapes in, and Thursdays would copy Thursdays, Fridays would copy Fridays. There was a stack of them in a drive. So they're cheap to run. They take forever to reload because there's a tape in here, sequential access. You've got to rewind to get to the spot that you need, and if you're going to restore it, it's going to take a while for that to wind and put that data back in your system. So they're cheap but slow. And just for fun, this was the tape that we used to back up our mainframe
Yeah.
more than 20 years ago,
Those
but
are the ones I was thinking of.
Yep.
I mean, there's still some computers out there that are still using it.
it's still cheap. It's still cheap. It backs up the data cheaply, and hopefully you don't need it, but if you do need it, you do have to wait. If computers go down, you have to wait for the system to be rebuilt and fixed and restored and whatnot. So that rebuild is coming off of tape sometime. Okay.
Smart cards.
I don't mean to skip over smart cards, but we're not, I don't think they've evolved as quickly as the world thought they would. It's just like, I like to think of it kind of like a gift card, because that gift card, when you swipe it, say at Starbucks or whatever, they can tell you how much money you have left on that card. That's just swiping the information off the back of it and checking with their database that says, hey, you've got $15 left on your Starbucks card. Okay, a smart card goes a step further, and with the swipe, data is read and changed. So it's not having to compare that to a database, give me a second. You know, when you swipe your card at any place, it's like, wait. Okay, will you sign here? There's a wait time. Okay, so imagine your credit card having that data just built into it and changeable information inside your credit card or your debit card or your gift card. So that's where they're going with smart cards, and looking at them for holding your medical information, that would be pretty slick, especially if you have multiple medical
Yeah.
problems and lots of doctors. And it'd be nice if when you completed your experience at what?
It's kind of dangerous.
It is kind of dangerous, but it would be nice if you completed your stay at the University of Utah Hospital, and then that information was on that card that you took to the Mayo Clinic to see a different specialist. I mean, those things would be convenient, but a little dangerous because your information is there.
Did American Express come out with a smart card, credit card, blue?
It was called Blue.
Yeah,
Mhm.
blue chip or something like that.
Blue so it has a chip in it. I did never get in.
Yeah,
Get into that, or I've heard of it. Does anyone in here own and use a portable hard drive?
I got several of them.
Do you have one outside your computer, but not that you take with
Oh
you?
no, it's internal.
Internal?
Yeah, but I've made some out of my old hard drives from my old computer. You can just get a little like protective case for them, and it makes them into a USB portable hard drive.
That's what I need the technicians to do to my computer, my laptop from 10 years ago that crapped. I still would like the information on it. My advice with a portable hard drive, it's just like the 64 gig pen drive. You have more to lose. It's a loose device. I'm always so careful when I take my hard drive from spot to spot, and I probably said this to you before, I rarely take it out of my office. I'm always scared that I'm going to plug it in here, leave it underneath, and close the door and walk out and forget about it for the rest of the day, and then when I need it, freak out and not remember where it is. I've done that maybe 10 times, and always been able to find it, but I've left it in bad places before, and so there's more stuff to lose in that respect. So anything that's portable, you need to figure out a way to back up so that you can protect all that portable
That's what
information.
portable hard drives are, they are backups.
Mhm.
I don't take them anywhere.
Mine is not a backup. Mine is like my primary storage because I work on so many places. But like you keep talking about Dropbox, I'm migrating my world to Dropbox, but I still have problems. There's still times when I don't necessarily have internet access or want internet access, and I'm told by the IT department here that any student record type information should not be stored in a cloud that the college cannot protect. They cannot protect Dropbox, it's not theirs. They cannot protect OneDrive either. So it's fine for me to store my notes like this on there, but I should not store grade sheets that have your student ID numbers in the cloud. And I didn't really think about that before. And then we had a training on how to help you guys get the Office 365. And that was when he mentioned that we should not store anything college business related in the cloud because our staff can't back it up. Good to know. I think I'm done.
Really good you got in that box.
Hmm?
Really good you got in that box.
More of the same crap. There's nothing extra new in here. You saw it all, well, except for a set thing. So let's think about what we're doing next. Before you come to class on Thursday,